Have you ever had something burning inside you so strong that you had to do it, even though maybe the time wasn't there, but you took the time? My pops would always say to me, "Boy, if uh, you want something to happen, you'll never have the time. You have to take it." And that's the biggest part. Let me pop this on. That's the biggest part for me this morning is um, that's the reason why we didn't start off in the with the two scenes, and we're not doing the commercial today and anything like that. It's just I just had to get this out. I got to sit down and spend some quiet time with the Lord today, and it was unbelievable. Um, if you haven't got the book, The Vibe Within, Inchstones, it's a journal. It'll take you through 3 months of the corresponding proverb for the corresponding day. I'm going to be emphasizing this a lot in the coming episodes, and I would invite you to go to the link in the bio. Honestly, like 31 days of this. There's 31 proverbs in the book of Proverbs. There's 31 days in the month most of the time. June right now, June 25th today. There's only 30 days in this month, but you get what I'm saying. Literally 30 days of walking through it. It just asks you three questions. What verse hit your heart? What did it make you think about? And what action can you add to it today? And we got a chance to do this in our men's group yesterday, and it was incredible to be able to see how Proverbs 24 was speaking to all of us. Like, we sat down, we had a great conversation, and there was about four of us there. We talked about different things, and when guys get together, kind of get off subject, things like that. But it was unbelievable, because by the time we got to Proverbs 24, as we sat down to talk about it, it connected with all of us, and it wrapped up the conversation altogether, helping us to realize that we can have all the plans in the world, but it's going to be God's purpose that is the one that is going to shine through. So I want to invite you with that today. And also, too, the whole emphasis yesterday was all about the fact that if you work your land, like your land, what you were purposed to do, what God designed you to do, things will be in flow, as some people refer to it as. Things will be flowing. And this was a thing yesterday that all of us were realizing, that he was talking about, like, go out and um, uh, understand, like, really, really, really understand your gifts, and then build your life around those. Um, and to be able to lock into your purpose, identify your gifts, and then go build your house around that. And it was incredible. So as I sat down today in Proverbs 25, this trust and faith thing has been really, really big for me lately, right? And because I keep hearing the word trust, and then I would love to be able to hope in something, and then the faith part. So what's been revealed to me in the last couple days is, and the last couple weeks, has been, what trusting comes from results. Like, if we see something happening, um, if we hear about something and then we see the results, then the trust starts to build. Once the trust starts to build, and we know that, even if the result doesn't happen, we hear about it, the result doesn't happen, and we have that little bit of trust, and it builds hope. If the result doesn't happen one or two times and we have hope, we still can work through that thing. We don't get disheartened. We don't lose heart. We don't get discouraged. And then once we hope enough times and the results come in, and we keep seeing the results over and over again, we get to this place where it's faith. And faith, I tell you, is the place where God wants us to be. But he's not asking us to get there just by magical beans or anything like that. He's saying, like, I will show you. Like, I'll build your trust. It will foster hope, and ultimately it will build faith. And that faith is for you to be able to close your eyes, not see any result, but to know and to anticipate the type of result that you know that is coming, because you've trusted, you've created hope, and that faith is right there. So it's step by step. And so the question this morning, as I sat down, was, do I really trust God? And has that fostered hope? And has that led to faith? Sometimes, I would say. I guess would be my answer. How about you? Are you waiting for results? Um, or are you anticipating the answer? So in Proverbs 25, it charges us to trust God so he could produce hope and ultimately create faith that he has called us uh, to, because that will ultimately comfort us. So in Proverbs 1 through 3, God is into the details. This is what my mom talked about all the time is, sometimes we get so wrapped up in the details. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in the explanation. How does it work? How does all these things work? And it's not to say that we're not smart, that we don't investigate things like that. But God wants to get us to a point of faith because he wants us to understand that he's in the details, that he's going to take care of the things. And he wants us to be truly, truly present in every single moment that we're in at that time. And I've stepped out of this at times with my son, with my daughter, with my wife. I've been either on my phone or I've been looking for certain results to happen. And what God is saying is just calm down. I'm into the details. I got everything taken care of. In verse 4 and 5, foolishness is removed from intense heat. Anytime that there's foolishness in your life and in my life, you're going to find that God is going to bring things in that's going to heat it up so much, whether it be circumstance or challenges, whatever it is, and that is going to remove the foolishness. Or sometimes we'll keep the foolishness and we keep having to turn up the heat. But I tell you, what happens is heat separates. Once we get into intense heat, we'll start to see what's truly inside of us. And so just be conscious of that. Verse 6 and 7 is let someone else sing your praises and celebrate others. Don't waste time or energy on silly things. And it goes back to what he was talking about at first, as far as he's in the details. Don't waste time on silly stuff. Speak in life. This is a thing that we, I've talked about before, where we built our company on, built a men's group, built sports teams. This is something that speaking life is probably one of the most important things that you'll ever do. Use somebody's name, tell them specifically why they were amazing, and lift them up. And see, when I go through the verses like these are things that hit me. Now, all I'm asking, when you go through the Inchstones, the Vibe Within, the prayer journal, when you go through that devotional journal, it's just asking for one verse. I'm going through and breaking down every one of them to kind of give you an example of this. Speak life, it brings blessings. And that's in 11 through 14, 18, 19, 20, 23, 25, and 26. It's a big, huge emphasis of Proverbs 25 today, is just to speak life to so many people. And what you'll start to see is when you speak life, you'll start to see the results. That will help you to trust the fact that you need to speak life. It'll produce hope in it, even when you speak life and you don't see blessing. And then you'll ultimately get to a place of faith. And keep your cool. This is one. I didn't keep my cool yesterday, and I lost my cool a little bit, and I had to call my friend and ask him, and he was like, you know what, you're a human being. So, but before you get into challenging situations, ask yourself, am I prepared to keep my cool right now? More isn't always better. That's a challenge for me always, because when I love something, I want to go all in on it. And God is like, more isn't always better. Do good, even when it doesn't feel good. And this will take you from trust to hope, and then ultimately to faith. Family first and all else will follow. I tell you, when you emphasize your family first, this is probably one of the greatest examples that I've ever seen. My brother with this, he puts his family first and all else flows. His business flows, his relationships flow, because he puts his family always first. And then finally is just mind your business, work your land, and everything will be cool. If you go back to Proverbs 24, go back to it in Inchstones, the Vibe Within, get that prayer journal, and you can walk through these Proverbs with me as we go through. And also, we're building a retreat on this and a community. I'm only going to allow 100 people into the community, but we're going to go through this. We're going to go through the Proverbs. We're going to ask, really strong questions on how we can start to elevate the things within your life. And when we look at it, faith is built inch by inch. First is trust, then hope, and faith will be produced. Walking in faith is where God wants us to be, but he is patient and is full of grace. So when we screw up, he's right there to just love on us. So today was something that I had to get out as quickly as possible. It was burning in my heart, and this trail from, we're asked to walk in faith, but it's built through trust. that fosters hope and ultimately leads us to faith. And I encourage you today to walk in faith no matter what circumstances are happening right now, but do it inch by inch, step by step. Trust, hope, faith. My name is Kelly Cardenas, and I'm officially off the hot seat. Peace, love, and soul.
Nothing more on my mind. I got to shine, so every day I grind. Work in the morning, work in the evening. We's achieving, cause we believing. It's for certain, we put the work in. We ain't stopped just because it's hurting. Right before your eyes, so it's coming to no surprise. The takeover is televised.